Alright, so guys, if you didn't get any of that quiet part at the beginning, just go back and check it out, or leave a comment below if there's something that you didn't totally understand. Alright, now we get to the loud part, so next to my trusty Marshall pedal, wow, really is early, trusty Marshall pedal, you throw on the distortion, and add more balls than the mutant dog with 3 balls or something. Anyway, for this whole part, you do everything you just did for the quiet part on the single lead part, I should say. So, you know. Now, if you want to do the chording around in the background, it's just the standard matter of life and death style, you know, E chord, C chord, G chord, D chord. If you don't know how to do the power chords, you know, just like if you want to do the E chord, like 7th fret on the A, and then the 9th fret on the D and the G. So, yeah, the chording in the background. You know, but I'm here to do the lead stuff like in my videos, so you know. You repeat everything you saw in the beginning. So you know, even the Alright, so once you get all that done, there is one riff in the middle for the did you know part that's thrown in, like I said during the quiet part, where they play it down an octave. So you play it on the 5th fret of the D string, you go 5, 4, 5. So then 7, 9, and the 7th on the G. Now once you get to the conclusion of this part of the verse where he sings everything again, if you want at the end you can do the, or you can do what I did in my video and throw in a big D chord and just let it ring. And if you don't know that D chord, I'll give you that really quick. Just open A and D, then the 2nd fret of the G, 3rd fret of the B, and then the 2nd fret of the E. Wait for the big drum intro from Nico. So, if you want to do the single note, there's a lot of harmonies here. This is the one I picked out, and it's a lot of fun. You can do the 7th fret of the A, so to add effort or force, you can add the low E string as well, and put vibrato, so. Then you jump to the 9th fret of the G, so. Then you go, which is, so you do the, then the 9th fret on the D, 7th fret on the G, and the 7th fret on the D. So, back to the 9th on the D. Then you do 5, 7 on the D. Then you just repeat. So that whole thing would be. You do that twice, so you do that whole section 2 times. Then Bruce comes back in and you play with him again. So you go. So that would be 9th on the D, 9th on the G, then 11, 12, then 11, 9. So then it would be 7, 9 on the G for that part. So then 9 on the D, and then 7 on the G again. So then you go 9 on the D, 7 on the G, so 5, 7 on the D. So that whole sequence goes like this. So you do that riff 4 times. 4 times. And once you get to that, you get to the fun solo section where, if you follow the exact solos from the album, it isn't really a whole lot of fun, because they just kind of meddle like I do. So if you want, you can just meddle around and have a lot of fun doing your own solos. But this opening solo, you know, is only 8 bars long. So there's one particular riff in the solo I need to show you because it's an important one. Halfway through this little 8-bar solo, there's a little guitar harmony, and I'm going to show you the high part. Alright, it's not really that hard actually. So, these are all above the octave. So, 3rd fret above on the E, then the octave of the E. Then you go to the 3rd on the B. So it goes... so then it goes 5, 7, 5 above the octave on the E, so then 3, 5, 3, so then 5, 3 on the B, then 3 on the E string, then the 5th fret above the octave on the B. So here's the whole thing in slow motion. You go. Takes a little bit of getting used to because the rhythm is weird, but once you do that, that's a very cool riff to insert halfway through the solo. So 5 bars in. Alright, so once you get through this really short 8-bar solo section, there's the classic guitar harmony lead thing where it goes. Alright, so that starts on the 4th above the octave on the G. You strum that 3 times, so. And then you go 2, 4. All of this is above the octave, by the way. So. Then you go 5, 4, 2 octave. So. Then you go 2, 4, 2 octave. Then you go to 1 below the octave on the G string. So. Then you go to the 2nd fret above the octave on the D. So far that's... Then you go 5, 4, 2 octave on the D. Then the octave of the G is the last note of that little thing. So on the G string you go 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, 5, 4, 2 octave at first. 2, 4, 2 octave, 1 below the octave. So then on the D string 2, 5, 4, 2 octave. Octave of the G. So you do that riff 4 times. And you can continue to do it, but after that is a more lengthy solo section. And after this other solo section, there's a little pause in the middle of the song where there's just a big chord section. So I showed you how to do the chord earlier in case you didn't know. You just do power chords. So it would be the 7th fret chord, so that would be the E power chord. Then the G, which would be on the 10th fret. Then the C chord on the 3rd. Then back to the 10th. and then directly below it for a D chord. So the whole thing is... Remember, these are all just ways, if you want to improve upon it yourself, you can do whatever you would like. But this is just one way to do it, and it's a particularly simple way to do it. It's not very hard, but it's also a way to make it sound pretty good. So once you do that riff, you can continue to do it, or there's another solo in the background. So, you know. So, if you want, you can solo there, but that solo also doesn't last very long. So once you get several measures into that, you go back to the... You do that 4 more times. Then there's a special guitar part where you start on the 9th fret of the G. And you go 11, 12, 14. So then you walk it back down. So then you go back to the octave. So 11, 12, 14, 12, 11, 12, 11. Then back to the 9th fret, so. Then down 2 more. Then 9, 10 on the D. So that goes. And you go octave, 2 above the octave, then 4 above the octave on the G string, so. Then you walk that down again. 2 above, octave, 1 below, then 9, 7, 9. So, then you do the first riff again, so. But this last time, when you go, you slide to the octave, then you slide to the second above on the D string. So I'll show you that really quick. It goes octave, second, back to the octave, second, fourth. Then we get to the heavy chording section in the middle of the tune. So if there's any point where you needed to stop this video, that's perfectly fine, because I'm going moderately fast here.